It's Lee Henkin here. So in today's video, I'm going to be going through a bit of targeting and how to build highly targeted lists using Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. Okay, so there's pretty much two primary ways you can do it. Okay, and this is assuming you know exactly who you want to be targeting. So before you even attempt to do this, like, you actually got to get clear on who you are targeting. You got to know, the demographics and psychographics of your target audience. If you don't, this is not going to work. But once you do know that, there's pretty much two ways to build a list using Sales Navigator on LinkedIn: leads and account search. So I'm going to go through account search first, just give you a little demo. So for example, let's say we wanted to target over all of the UK. And I'll hold on a sec. See, what's good about account search is that it has things like annual revenue, department headcount growth. So you want to think strategically about your outreach before you even do this. So you think to yourself, with your ideal clients, what kind of things can you identify in advance that would lead you to believe that they are more susceptible to your marketing message? So in the case of me, for example, I obviously help people with B2B lead gen and marketing. Okay, help them build their pipeline of qualified sales leads and book appointments. So for me, things that I'm going to be looking at is like sales department head growth, things like that. Okay, so I mean, for example, you'd look at things like sales, because if a company is growing their sales department, right, then they're probably, doesn't mean they're definitely going to be interested in lead generation, but the fact that they're growing, and they're growing specifically in their sales department, tells me that, they're probably going to be more susceptible to a message about like filling their sales pipeline. Okay, so you want to think sort of, use these filters here, to think in advance who's possibly going to be more interested than other prospects in your target market. Okay, and use these filters to your advantage. All right. So let's just say I wanted to target, we'll just do IT and tech. Company headcount, to say 1 to 10, and they're growing their sales department. So this tells me 118 companies that are growing their sales department by at least 10%. Basically what you do, so you would just look at, I don't know, just trying to think of a company. Let's take these guys, Proximi. So the way you build a list, for example, because this is your company, so you actually got to get the decision makers. So if you know who your ideal clients are, you should know who you're going to reach out to. So this will tell you all the employees. Obviously, I want to get decision makers, and what you do. So for example, like, you want to be looking at stuff like this: founder and CEO, and then you click save. Create lead list, and you're going to add this person to a lead list. Okay, and you'd label it something like IT companies growing their sales department by at least 10%. And you'd basically go through every single company and do that, and then build a list of decision makers from all those companies. Okay, that's how you can build a really highly targeted list of prospects using Sales Navigator, but specifically account search. Okay. So yeah, like I said, you really want to look at like those filters there. You can even things like annual revenue. If you know you want to be targeting companies that are earning like, I don't know, 10 million at least a year, you can actually filter for that. If you're looking for companies that use specific technologies, their fortune, heaps of stuff. Like I said, the way you got to think about it is who's more likely to be interested in what I offer. That's how you want to think about it, and then build your list with that in mind. Okay, that's super important, because that's what's going to allow you to build a hyper-targeted list and then create a specific message for that group of prospects. Okay, that's who they're going to be interested in. So yeah, the other way to do it is lead search. This is one most people are aware of. Most people don't do account search very often. I don't know why, but it's a really good way to do it. So again, this is a bit different because it won't give you companies. It will just give you the individuals. So here you want to be looking at, let's just do second, third. We'll do IT again, keep the theme. There we go. Information and technology. So we want to be looking at like CEOs, managing directors, things like that. Chief operating officer is another one. Maybe sales director. So these are all relevant to me because, like I said, I offer B2B lead gen marketing services. So I want to be targeting these kinds of people, decision makers, okay, who actually are related to those roles. We'll do company headcount, same as with the account search, 1 to 10. All right, so again, same thing. You want to be thinking, how can you use these filters here to build a list of contacts who are going to be more likely to be susceptible to your messaging? So you might even want to play around with company type. Okay, I don't tend to do this much with company type, but there are instances where it's going to be useful. Like I was running some campaigns for a business coaching firm once, and they were targeting law firms, and they specifically needed partnerships. Okay, so us used to select partnerships for them. So there's going to be times where you might need to do stuff like that. Function's a good one. So we want business development, sales, things like that. That should create a pretty targeted. So as you can see there, you got 4,500, which is a lot in the UK. Matches this criteria. But this is basically how you do a lead search. Okay, so pretty simple once you know who you want to be targeting. Just important to make sure you use the correct filters. You can also play around with this too, seniority level. So you might just want like owner, and this will narrow the list as well. So that'll narrow this to 924. So you're only going to be connecting with owners there, which is pretty good. And the other thing you can do here too, so this is an IT list, wasn't it? Information tech services. So you can filter it even more. Let's be like information technology. Should narrow it down even more. There you go. It's gone from 900 and something to 800. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much how you build a lead list. Okay, so main thing is who you want to be targeting, because otherwise you're just not going to be able to use all this. And they're really the two ways you can do it using Sales Nav. Okay, you can do either lead search, which will give you the individuals, decision makers at companies. Okay, and you can do account search, which, like I said, is really cool because you can look at like things like department headcount growth, company headcount growth, annual revenue. So if you want to be targeting companies that are like enterprise level, you'd want to select things like annual revenue, for example. So yeah, that's basically how you do it. Okay, and as a little hack to boost effectiveness of your connections before we finish this video, you always want to start with this here. These are active users out of this entire group of 800. And I've always noticed with my prospecting that this group of people, pretty much in any list you build, any industry, you're always going to get higher connection acceptance rates, and they're always going to be more responsive to messaging, okay, because they're using the platform regularly. All right, so just something to utilize when you start doing your connection requests. All right, that's about it, guys. Hopefully that gives you a bit of insight into how to think about building a hyper-targeted list of prospects on LinkedIn using Sales Navigator. All right, so main thing is you know exactly who you want to target. Otherwise, yeah, you're just not going to be able to build a really targeted list. And with B2B marketing, with pretty much any marketing actually, you need to be very specific with who you're targeting. So then you can connect to those prospects with a very specific message that's going to get their attention and interest in what it is you're offering. Okay, and the only way you can do that, you've just got a very hyper-targeted list to begin with. All right, so that's it, guys. Hope that helps. Drop a comment below. See you next time.